Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Crystal, and today I have partnered with Cricut to show you how I made over my laundry room. So you guys can see that drastic makeover here. So I'm going to show you guys how I made all of these things with my Cricut. So let's go ahead and get started. Starting over here in Cricut Design Space, these are the files that I'm using today. You can definitely go to Images, search Laundry, and you're going to get lots of different options. Now I have things to put on these little containers for my laundry soap. I have several different signs here, as you guys can see. I also even have stuff that I'm going to do with iron on. So everything in white, I've changed the color so I know that it is for iron on. Now I've also even made some signs that's going to go on my washer and dryer, but like I said, you can put in washroom, laundry room, all those things to get these to pop right up. I have already sized out everything except for this one right here. As you can see, I'm getting a warning sign. It's telling me it is way too big for my mat. So I'm doing this matless, but I still can only cut 11.7 wide. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to cut this one in half, and I'm actually going to personalize it first. So I'm going to go ahead and come over here to text, and I'm just doing a basic font. I'm going to type out Thomas in all caps, and then I'm going to go ahead and bring this over. Now you may want to go ahead and change this up just a little bit. You may want to bring your lettering in, as well as maybe undo it completely so you guys can bring pieces in further. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this where I think it looks good, and then I'm going to go ahead and come up here to letter spacing, and you can bring down the arrow, and that's going to kind of bring it in. Now I can come up to advanced ungroup to letters, and I can bring them in one at a time. Then I can reselect everything and hit attach or weld. The very next thing that I want to go ahead and do now is center everything. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is select both of these designs here. I'm going to come up to align, and then I will center these horizontally. So now what I want to do is go back to either attach or weld, so that way they're going to be together. So next up, to cut this in half, all you simply got to do is bring in a square. So I'm going to go over here to shapes, click on the square, and then all I'm going to simply do is grab this, and we're going to bring it on over. So what I'm going to do is hit the unlock button and then bring it down to size. So I'm just going to go ahead and figure out about where the center is or the best cut is going to be. So I think this looks good. So once I'm happy with it, what I'm going to do is select both of these pieces here, and I'm going to hit slice. So once you do that, now it's cut in half. I can delete the two gray layers, the square as well as this one here. And now, as you can see, they're in two separate pieces, and our warning is gone. So now we have everything sized out. You can see we want to double check and make sure everything is going to cut in one place. So I'm looking at all of my layers and making sure everything is attached. Once I'm ready to go, I'm going to hit make it. I've already chose that this is the Cricut Explorer 3. From here, I'm going to tell it I'm going to use no mat. So I'm going to say without the mat, because I want to do this in as little as cuts as I can. So I'm actually only going to have to load material 2 times. We have the white here, which is iron on, so you can come right over here and mirror that. And then the next one is going to be adhesive vinyl, so I don't have to mirror any of those. When you're working with adhesive vinyl, you don't need to mirror. So as you can see, everything is lined up here and ready to go. So I'm really excited that I'm able to cut all of this out at one time. I don't have to continue to load mat after mat. Once you are ready to go, you're going to go ahead and hit continue, and then you're going to go ahead and choose your machine. And then from here, you're going to tell it what material. Now I'm using Smart material. You can choose it right here or go to browse all materials. But for me, I'm actually using Smart vinyl removable because these signs are for inside. So I'm just going to go ahead and start off with this one right here, and now we are ready to go. So let's go ahead and go load our material. I'm using the roll holder today along with my Cricut Explorer 3, and you're just going to load this in just like so. We're going to slide it right underneath the 2 white feet. After that, we're going to go ahead and hit the load button, and it's going to bring everything in. There is a sensor on this machine, and it's going to tell you if you have enough material before it starts cutting so you don't waste anything. This is really nice and comes in handy just in case. So it's going to go ahead and pull everything in, measure it out, and then it'll go ahead and push everything back out. All right, so now we're ready to go. So we're going to hit the go button. It's going to go ahead and quickly cut everything out for us. Now, once we're done cutting this out, I go ahead and take my roll holder and I pull it back just a little bit so I don't accidentally cut my design. And then you take the built-in trimmer there and cut it away. So I'm going to get that out of our way, and now we're going to unload. And as you guys can see, all of this coming out. It's just so nice to not have to load a bunch of mats, which is going to save us a ton of time. So as you guys can see here, I'm rolling this up. It is a lot of material. So let's go ahead and go weed it out and make some projects. So I'm going to go ahead and just quickly weed through each of these. What I did was I went ahead and cut every single one of them down. When it comes to my iron-on smart material, I just do it all at one time. But when it comes to adhesive vinyl, they're such big pieces. I'll cut them down into individual projects, if you will. So I'm just going to go ahead and quickly run through here and weed all of this stuff out. I'm going to take some Cricut transfer tape and then line this up to figure out about how big I need it to be. And then I'm going to peel off just a corner just like so and line it up on one side. And what I'm doing is I'm doing a pushing and pulling motion, and this is going to avoid any sort of bubbles and all of that. So next up, you want to take your Cricut scraper. I highly recommend the Cricut XL scraper and rub, rub, rub. And this is going to help adhere this vinyl to the transfer tape so we can transfer it to our wooden sign. So you definitely want to rub, rub, rub as much as you can to get that to adhere. So now what we're going to do is we're going to flip it over, hold it at an angle, and we're just going to go ahead and peel off our backing. It works best if you pull it away at an angle. If you got any pieces that want to come up with you, just slow down and kind of push those down like so. All right, so once we have this, now we are ready to line it on top of our sign. So you can find these signs usually locally at your craft store. So what I'm going to do is fold it like a taco. You could use parchment paper. That's a trick that a lot of people use because the vinyl won't stick to it. So that way you can kind of see it before you commit. But if you kind of go in the center and don't really push, it's still able to kind of move around. So what I'm doing is taking my XL scraper tool and I'm going from one side to the next and I'm smoothing everything out. And then what you want to do is just kind of rub, rub, rub once again to really get that vinyl now to adhere to our wooden sign. So once you get done rubbing everything, you want to make sure you cover everything. You want to peel at an angle. So once again, kind of hold it flat against your sign there and peel at an angle and it's going to come right up. So as you guys can see how nice this came out, I'm absolutely in love with the way it came out. All right, so next up, let's work on our laundry soap jars. So I found these jars locally as well, and you could look at thrift shops for things like this and then personalize them with your own. So all of these little designs here are inside of Cricut Design Space, like I said, and what I'm gonna do is just kind of peel these off and then figure out, about where I'm wanting to put them on the jar. So you're just gonna go ahead and apply them just like so. Make sure that you pre-clean your jars with rubbing alcohol so they're gonna last a very long time. Now, what's nice about this being removable, I don't wash these. You can wash them by hand on the inside, but they're removable so I can change them out at any point in time. Now that we have all of our jars done, I'm ready to fill them up. So you can do these in all sorts of different colors to change that up. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill all of these up here. And as you can see, this project came out super nice. Next up are these fabric baskets here, and I'm going to use these for my lint as well as some lost and found socks and things like that. So what we need to do is flip these inside out. That's what's nice about the fabric baskets is we can actually flip these things inside out. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here is I'm just making sure that everything looks good, and then I'm going to go ahead and push this inward. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that and smooth everything out. I'm taking my Cricut pad here, and then you want to make sure you pre-pull out any moisture first. So I've already done that, and now I'm ready to line up my design so you guys can see that here. So make sure your design is going to look upside down, but once you flip it back, it's going to be in the correct direction. I even pulled off the handle here to make it a lot easier. I'm pressing 315 for 30 seconds. So there we have it. So I'm going to let it kind of cool down a little bit and then peel everything away. You could also use your mini Cricut Easy Press for this project. So as you guys can see, we have it on here. So now what we're going to do is just simply flip our basket back inside, and then you're going to be able to see that design right here. So I really love these fabric baskets. You can do this on other baskets as well. You just can't flip them out. You can definitely just use your pad and press against it. So there you have it. How super adorable did these come out? Next up, I found these laundry baskets here at Target, and it's really neat because these covers come off, so I thought we could apply some iron on. So I've just pulled it off, keep it in that same direction, and then I'm taking the side here, and I'm going to go ahead and put it on top of my Cricut pad, just like so. I'm going to get it nice and even, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull out any moisture. So just like we would normally do with our t-shirts, I'm going to treat the same because I can wash these through the wash. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out any moisture, get the wrinkles out of here, and now we are ready to line this up. So I'm going to go ahead and just line these up, and I'm just going to do every single one of them in the same spot. Now I'm using my smaller 6x7 easy press, so I'm actually going to press this in 2 different spots to apply this. So I'm just going to go ahead and press these 315 for 30 seconds. All right, so once we are done with this, we're going to go ahead and lift this up, move it out of our way. And this is a warm pill, so I'm going to go ahead and just let it cool down just a little bit. And now I'm going to go ahead and peel it at an angle, just like so. I'm in love with the way that this project came out. It's just another great way to spruce up these baskets. You could put all sorts of different quotes on these. So all you now have to do is just apply this back on the basket, just like so. And you're going to be able to throw these in the wash as well. So as you guys can see how cute this came out. I just propped them on this little table that I had already had in my laundry room, and you can also just set them right on the floor, or you can even put them on a shelf. So once again, this is one of my favorites. Next up are these decals that I made for the washer and dryer, which you're going to see here in a minute. I put them on the wrong machine, and that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take some Cricut transfer tape here, get it down to size, and then I'm going to do just like I did before, where we're going to get it at an angle, get it started, and then we're just going to peel off one side just like this, get it started, and then we're going to go ahead and just get it right here at the top, get that adhered, and then we're going to do that same push and pull method, just like this. Now, when it comes to a round design like this, work from the center out. So just rub straight from the center out, and you're going to avoid all of those bubbles. Once I've done that, I'll kind of go in a circular motion here and go all the way around. So once I do that, now I'm going to go ahead and trim everything down with a pair of scissors, just because I'm going from one room to the next. I don't want to get any dirt on there. All right, so let's go ahead and take these over to the washer and dryer. You're just simply going to go ahead and peel this back. I'm actually even going to use my washer here to kind of use that to get it off, just like so. And then now I'm going to go ahead and line these up. So I want them to go in the exact same spot. So I'm just going to go ahead and line that up just like so. Rub it with my Cricut XL scraper tool, and then we'll get it at an angle and peel away. So these are removable, so I can peel them off at any time, if I decide I don't want them. So there you guys have it. This is my laundry room makeover. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this and got some inspiration from it. Let me know down in the comments below which one was your favorite project, and if this is something that you guys may want to do. Now, whenever it comes to the cabinets you guys seen over in the right corner, I found those at Lowe's. We cut out the back and the bottom to hide our water heater, so that worked out for that. So there you guys have it. Like I said, all of my pieces here. I'm absolutely in love with the way that this project came out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please hit the like button down below and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.